here today. Don't miss out.
Need a ride? ICATS has you covered. Tuesdays to the VA in Salisbury, Thursday to Winston-Salem, and Fridays to Hickory. Plus, run errands every day around Iredell County for just $1. Visit rideicats.com.
Oh, shoot. Love you guys. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, LKN. 7:06. Happy Wednesday to you. Made it to the middle of the week, hump day. Congratulations. Gang's all here. It's going great. Yeah,
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
I'm trying to think of something. I don't want to say I'm thinking of something negative to say.
No, we're going to start the day off positive.
I'm just checking all the boxes. You know, you wake up, your brain unfogs, climbs out of wherever it was at in the middle of the night.
Right.
And you start going through the check boxes.
Yeah, sometimes you do that. You just go through, make sure you got everything, all your ducks in a row.
That's it.
Yeah.
You got to. There's ducks in, did they change this post? I thought I put the right post. Oh, no, I did put the right one.
Okay.
There's ducks floating around in Davidson. Must be because a bunch of people want to be there.
Yeah.
And it's making the national news again.
Uh-oh.
So New York Post, pick it up. Here's the headline. Moneyed buyers are seeing refuge in this charming southern town.
Ah, charming.
Where $1 million listings are surging.
Yep, they are surging.
And the town that they are referring to is listed right in this first sentence of the article. Once known for its collegiate charm and quiet lakefront appeal, Davidson, North Carolina, is now gaining popularity among those with some extra cash to spare. Quiet lakefront appeal, I would say that's definitely true because it's Lake Davidson.
Yeah.
A little bit more quiet of a stretch.
You technically have Lake Norman access in Davidson on the other side of the highway, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Select
very little,
mailboxes.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Just a little bit.
Nestled along the shores of Lake Norman. So we're getting a shout out here for, again.
It's not really.
Well,
do I need to
this is
call
New York.
Post?
We need to let them know a little bit about it.
I need to tell them they need to rewrite. Sorry, Lake Davidson. Fix it.
A half hour from Charlotte.
Fix it.
Davidson has quietly transformed into one of the South's hottest high-end housing markets. Okay. It's hard. People want to be in Davidson. There's no doubt about that.
They do.
What started as pandemic-era migration shift has now created a full-blown real estate boom. Complete with bidding wars, $1 million listings, and even sea urchin butter on the local dinner menu.
Are you not entertained?
Shout out Kindred. Davidson saw a surge in popularity during the pandemic, Hannah Jones, senior economic research analyst at Realtor.com, said. The influx of demand created fierce competition in the market, which propped up record high home prices. In terms of price per square foot, this is what the article says. Now, whether or not this data is accurate or not, right? I haven't compared in the publicly available market data. Home prices are more than 85% higher than pre-pandemic in Davidson.
I would say that's probably true.
In 2019, just 8.4% of homes in town were listed above $1 million. Fast forward to April 25, and nearly a third of all listings are asking seven figures.
In Davidson, a third or over $1 million?
That's what it says. That's what it says.
That's surprising to me.
The news said it.
Yeah.
It's got to be real. Davidson, this article is really just praising continuously Davidson exclusively. Nothing to do with any of the other towns.
They got
besides Charlotte, excuse me.
Yeah, they got an agent I know in here quoted, Marisa Mazzotti. Yeah, I know her. Way to go. You made national news. Proud
That's
of you.
right. So does this trigger, again, more and more people coming?
Okay, my question is, yes, this does. I mean, people are not going to stop
a certain
coming
echelon
here.
of people, I guess.
Yeah, they're not going to stop coming here. People are going to be selling their, $1 million. Well, it used to be you could sell your $1 million house in
Connecticut.
New York, Connecticut, you could come here and you could buy like 4 houses for
Yeah.
it. That's not really the case anymore. You might get 2 houses for it now.
Nah.
1.5 houses for it.
Unless you're in Davidson.
Well, yeah, and then
And you might be
Davidson,
getting a
you're
mortgage.
not. Yeah,
Yeah.
you might be getting. Yeah, you're gonna be paying for it. So if you were though moving here with your real estate knowledge in mind, where would you move? If you're moving to the Lake Norman area, you sold your $1 million house and
It's a fair question.
wherever. Where would you move?
And I think I don't know. There's not a wrong decision.
No, there's not a wrong
There's
answer.
not a wrong answer. I think one of the things that is unique here is that each of the individual towns, though the area has grown as a whole, though each of the individual towns has grown, each town has kept its own kind of little culture thing going on.
Right. Yeah, they're all unique.
So I'm good with where I'm at. Let me be clear with
yeah,
that.
I'm happy where I am too. I don't want to move. No, I'm not moving.
I don't think that there's a bad option between Huntersville and Statesville. I just don't think there, and even beyond that, I don't think that there's a bad,
I guess if you were
bad option. Really
well, if you were
regionally.
looking to sell your $1 million house somewhere else and
In
move
Connecticut?
here, would you want to go somewhere where you could get more for your money? I guess is what you would be looking for to move here, or you're just moving here for the environment.
At this point in my life, I would go for more land than
Okay.
I would.
So you'd be
city
going.
life.
You'd be going more.
I'm going out to Love
Mooresville.
Valley. I'm going out to Love
You're
Valley
going Iredell
with my
County.
people. With my
Okay.
people.
So you're just going land.
I'm going out to Hidnight. I'm going to the Yellow Deli.
You're going to Headnight.
4 days a week.
Headnight's way out.
I am going to that deli.
Okay. I'm moving to, let's see if I'd do it, probably Denver.
Okay.
I'm probably going
Denver's
Denver.
a safe bet.
If I was moving here for the first time. Denver is small town feel still.
Mm.
Not that the other towns don't have it, because they do, but small southern town feel, I think is what it has.
You say that until it takes you
West
45
Coast.
minutes to come to cross 73 on a Tuesday.
I'm not leaving once I get there. Staying.
All right, so the new encampment is
Yeah,
on the Denver
that's
side
where
of
it
the lake.
goes. It
Got
goes over
okay.
there.
Denver
Yes.
will build.
Yes. Yes. You guys better, because I'm not going anywhere. You know how I do in Cornelius. I don't leave exit 28. You think
You-
I'm going to leave 73 to come all the way over here? Y'all are crazy.
Usually it's Mooresville that gets all the love in these national articles
Yeah.
for housing. So Davidson
Well,
being...
Davidson gets a lot of love from people who don't live here, though. Davidson gets a lot of attention too. Don't act like they don't get all the love, because they do.
It's a funny concept that Davidson gets all just because of how small it is compared to the other towns in the region. But obviously, that smallness, the demand for it has created a pricing surge, if
Yeah.
you would, within that real estate market. Big news in real estate. We will talk about it shortly, coming from the finance housing secretary, Pulte, within the Trump administration. They made a significant change yesterday. They made a significant change as it relates to being able to qualify for a mortgage. How is it calculated? What goes into that formula? Pretty significant changes there. We'll talk about that today. Also got some friends stopping by. Bill Russell, president of the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce. He's also host of Town Talk. It airs every Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. You can catch the show live or on demand via the WSIC News app. And in fact, all 35 hours
They are.
of local content that we do here on WSIC is available on the WSIC News app. It's available on iOS and Google Play. You can also check out all the businesses that we hang out with. There's a lot of great businesses around the community that want you to know who they are, what they do, and we help share that word, and that's what we do. Also going to hang out with Patrick Reynolds, host of the Home Ad Show, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. Whether you're buying, selling, or celebrating birthdays and anniversaries, you hang out with Patrick Reynolds. You're also going to want to remember the phone number. The phone number is the same across all the shows. We'll share with you the other shows in the lineup today. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. You're going to want that number handy because, there's a ticket contest
There is
going
a ticket
on,
giveaway.
a
Yep.
And you're going to have to call to win. And spoiler, it's for Luke Combs.
We'll have more Good Morning LKN coming up on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, it's July, and we would expect it to be hot and sticky humid, wouldn't we? We're continuing that. Temperatures climb into the low 90s as we go into our Wednesday afternoon around the lake, and as scattered thunderstorms return as well, likely anything that pops up being a slow mover. So be ready. It could rain really heavy for a while, and there could be some flash flooding concerns in a few spots. Overnight, those storms will come to an end, low 70s. Back up around 90 with scattered thunderstorms Thursday afternoon. That's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Thursday, July 10th, the Langtree Live Outdoor Concert Series returns. Groove Skeletons make their Langtree debut. In 2024, they finished second in the Battle of the Bands and now bring their indie rock and fun stage presence to Exit 31 off I-77. Groove Skeletons play at 7 p.m. on Thursday in Mooresville at Langtree Live. Friday night at Brookdale Village in Huntersville is Live Under the Oaks. The Village stage welcomes the music of Joseph Gallo. Gallo is a pop and rock artist whose performance will get you to sing and dance along. Grab your lawn chairs and your blankets for the free show on the plaza. Brookdale restaurants will be open for dinner, and Red Rocks will be on site at the stage for beverages. We'll see you Friday night at 6 p.m. for the Joseph Gallo Show at Brookdale Village in Huntersville. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday with a performance by Caleb Davis. Davis is a graduate of the Berklee College of Music and plays his original songs and covers many genres from the 40s to today. Don't miss this 6 p.m. show. Visit the 500 Club online for more information on entertainment, food, beverages, and tea times. Bin 110 in Cornelius has live music Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Pluto for Planet Duo plays on Thursday, July 10th. John Sullivan on Friday, and Hey Ladies on Saturday. Bin 110 offers a large selection of whiskeys, wines, cocktails, and small plates. Drinks, eats, and live music are yours at Bin 110 this weekend. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is at Charlotte Motor Speedway for round number 8 on Tuesday, July 15th, when Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts get in free. Click on charlottemotorspeedway.com for more information on the Summer Shootout and other 2025 events. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Tired of guessing what's going on with your HVAC? Varsity Zone's smart AC monitoring with comfort sensors tracks performances in real time before problems happen. Enjoy clarity, trust, and long-term comfort. Visit varsityzone.com.
Want to talk with Justin, Bill, or Mamie? Give them a call now at 844-STUDIO-4. It's Good Morning LKN on WSIC.
Good morning, LKN. 7:18. Happy Wednesday to you. You know, Tuesday each week is the longest day of the week.
Right.
But today is actually officially, and this is professionals put this out, July 9th, today, the shortest day in recorded history. And they're saying it has something to do with the moon and the sun and the earth.
Okay.
And has something to do with
as most days do.
Right. The summer, Earth is suddenly spinning faster.
I feel it.
As a result of the moon's position.
That's why I'm so off. Yeah.
Yeah. Then the experts say this 1.3 to 1.6 milliseconds off of the typical 24 hours that a day would hold. And so because of that, they are saying scientifically, this is the shortest day on record ever.
Wow. But just referring back to that New York Post article, I believe the time in Davidson is going to still remain the same,
and if you
because they can keep time.
That's right.
Nice and easy, like they like it.
That's right. And also, if you want to play Candy Crush, just you get extra life.
Right. Faster.
Going back
even
to
faster
stories.
now.
Yeah,
Right.
even faster. Your life comes faster.
Do you want me to go ahead and?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. Never mind. All right. We'll wait a second here. Because there's friends that join us throughout the day. We're going to have Bill Russell, President of Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce, on a little bit later on at 8:15. Patrick Reynolds, host of the Home Ad Show, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11, whether you're buying, selling, or celebrating those birthdays and anniversaries. We also celebrate ticket giveaways.
That's right.
And so you've got your chance to win North Carolina Music Hall of Fame tickets. We'll be giving away. Luke Combs will be inducted and performing at this, along with some other wonderful artists.
Mm-hmm.
Again, been an honor to learn about all the music artists that have come out of North Carolina.
Yes.
It's kind of wild.
It's amazing to see how many great artists have come from North Carolina.
You know who else is a great artist?
Who's that?
RideICATS.com. Alternative transportation, $3 each day, each way to commute from Iredell County down to the city of Charlotte. Cruising in the HOV lane with Jim. Good morning, sir. How are things looking?
Good morning, Justin. Everything's looking pretty good today so far. The trip down to Charlotte was uneventful. Coming back, it was a little jammed up because they're doing a lot of that reconstruction of the road between Troutman and Statesville. So they were just finishing that up. I was running a couple minutes late. Going down, it's running smooth. Everybody's running at speed. Northbound, going to Statesville, everything's all cleared up there. And we're hoping everything's going to be nice and fine going down to Charlotte. So we'll see what happens.
Sounds like patient pants required this morning a little bit, Jim, but things are moving. Hold on, wait, I might have to sneeze. Hold on, sorry. Wait, I think it's gone. Okay, I thought I was going to have to sneeze there for a second. Scientists say that today's actually a really short day, Jim. 1.8 milliseconds less. The Earth is spinning faster than usual. Don't know if that helps or hurts you in the day on your travels, but just kind of keeping you apprised as you're obviously needing to keep time for your stops that you go to. So just letting you know.
Oh, that's going to bother me all day now.
Yeah, I know. I don't like being the bearer of bad news. I want you to know that. I don't like being the bad messenger.
We'll just all synchronize our watches really quickly.
That's
just
it.
Synchronize.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds good, Jim.
Jim, we so appreciate you. We'll chat with you at 8:15.
All right, we'll see you in an hour.
All right, sir. Drive safe.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. RideICATS.com, $1 from your front door each day to run errands around Iredell County. $1 on Tuesdays. That was yesterday. You could have gone to the VA in Salisbury. Tomorrow, that's Thursday. You can go to Winston-Salem. And Friday, you can go to Hickory. It's all available for you for only $1. You've just got to schedule it. RideICATS.com.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. The bird. The bird's a winner. Well, the bird. Bird is a winner.
It's time for the word of the day. What's the word?
Word of the day.
Today's word of the day on this very short but beautiful Wednesday. I think we might even get some. It was kind of weird weather. I wonder if we'll get some showers today. It was hot yesterday.
Hot.
It's been hot. Today's word of the day is kairos.
Kairos?
Kairos. We're going to call it kairos.
Kairos.
Now, it is spelled kairos, but we're going to pronounce it kairos.
So you could see how I was confused there.
I definitely could, and that's how I would have said it before I heard the computer say it.
Okay, and you got to listen to the computer.
Kairos, yes. I'm going to go ahead and
heard this
default.
word before.
Kairos.
I've heard Kairos before.
Yes, I have.
I think that's a city in Egypt.
I believe it is.
Or that's
Cairo.
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 That's Cairo with
Cairo.
a C.
I think it's a.
It might have a C in there.
Yeah, it does have a C. I think it's a Greek word though.
So that's a different word than this word.
Yeah.
This word is Greek.
Is this word Greek?
This word is Greek.
Yeah.
K-I. No.
No.
Start from the beginning. K-A-I-R-O-S. K-A-I-R-O-S. So 6 letters.
Tricky.
Kairos.
Kairos.
Kairos is what we're going to say. It is a noun here. So I'm going to go with idea.
Okay.
Idea here. I have some sentences, unless you guys know the words. I know you know the language of origin, Mamie.
Oh, well, my dad is a pastor. Part of he got his doctorate in ministry, and you have to take Greek and Hebrew. So I did a lot of flashcards, helping him study for those exams. And
Everything is Greek.
This was definitely on one of the flashcards.
Everything is Greek. And Greek actually comes from Davidson, which is awesome.
Origin story.
Yes, correct. So here is a sentence here. Justin mistook the kairos to tell his alpaca joke right as Mamie was trying to introduce the mayor.
Timing?
Timing,
opportunity.
Yeah.
I think we're getting there. Placement, yes. And this is the word of the day. So now you got to kind of
You got to mold it, shape
it,
twist
shape it. Yes,
Let's
exactly.
have another sentence.
I can do that. I can do that. Let's see. Mamie found the kairos to sneak out for coffee while Justin was busy explaining time travel using only sock metaphors.
The gumption.
No, it is around
Good
opportunity, but the
wherewithal.
The very, I don't know. There's more to it.
There is more to it. It's not just the opportunity. The definition I have of kairos. Or kairos is it's a Greek word meaning the right opportune perfect moment.
Oh, the perfect time. That's what I was missing.
What I was looking for, but you guys are on it.
Yeah, I know
Those
this was on a
flashcards
flashcard. I couldn't tell you what the meaning was, but I'm sure my dad would know.
Kairos, word of the day. Bill's giving us. Cairo, C-A-I-R-O, is the capital of Egypt.
Yes, this is Kairos.
This is Kairos, also known as
Get to
Kairos.
Kairos to go to Cairo.
The noun version, meaning perfect moment. We'll see if we can find the Kairos to use the word Kairos.
About to have
at
the
some point
Kairos.
in the day.
Yeah, at some point today, you'll have the Kairos to win some tickets to see Luke Combs at the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Yeah,
at some
Kairos.
point. You know what? I was at Morrisville Performing Arts Center last night.
Oh, wow.
I was just there last night. Beautiful space,
Yeah.
gorgeous auditorium to see Tarzan by Morrisville Children's Theater. That starts today.
Mhm.
I got to go to the special sneak preview last night. Fantastic show. These kids are on like bungees and silks.
They fly
and
around on the
flying in the
stage.
sky.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Tarzan flew in on a rope. Yes, just like that. It was amazing. It was amazing. We had the kids on the show, so go back and watch that if you missed it. But go see that show this weekend. Great show for the whole family.
Yeah.
Good times.
Morrisville Children's Theater doing a lot of cool stuff there and giving the kids an opportunity to learn a lot
Really,
of life skills
really
and
cool
put on a
stuff.
great show for the community. So very cool. Good luck to break a leg. Hope you have
Mooresville
fun.
Children's Theater of Davidson.
Absolutely.
Of Charlotte. When it's
Of Greater
convenient. Yes.
Speaking of Charlotte, the runways are changing their names.
Hey, now.
If you've been concerned when you go to the airport and you're looking for your plane
They can't do that.
and you're needing to find the right runway you're at, because that's how you communicate when you go to the airport. That's what it's really about. So let me help you get a prize with Charlotte Douglas a little bit better here. The fourth parallel runway will be named Runway 1C-19C.
Correct.
There's a new 10,000 foot runway, I guess, which 10,000 feet for a plane.
Is that short or long?
It's what, 5,280 is in a mile?
Mile, yeah.
So almost 2 mile long runway. I think you can have some big planes on that.
Okay.
I would imagine. I mean, 2 miles?
Well, ask Jim. He
I mean,
knows about
you
planes.
run 2 miles. What's your top speed you're getting to?
Like, I don't know, half a mile an hour.
Planes can get up there over
They
the
go
course of
faster.
2 miles.
I think they go faster.
The new 10,000 foot runway will join the north-south lineup, which means, hey, Lake Norman, more north-south.
Mhm.
That's the advantage of that one. As part of the system-wide renumbering that ensures safety, clarity, and compliance as CLT continues to grow. From May through September 2026, all 3 existing runways will also receive new designations. So here's the other changes. So you know when you get there and you're asking for your runway, you know where you're going.
Do you ask for your runway before or after you take your shoes off on the plane?
18R-36L has become
Uh-huh.
1L-19R.
Write it down.
You need to know that one. The R is definitely the one that'll throw you off.
All right.
18C to 36C now are going to become 1R to 19L.
Okay.
18L to 36R.
And this probably affects a lot of people locally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is going to 18L to 36R is just going to become 18 to 36.
Thank goodness.
They're just dropping the letters
Makes it
there on
easier,
that one.
guys.
Yeah, that's gonna.
Um,
That's better.
And
That's
the
just
fourth
better.
parallel. And in this image, it looks like
the fourth
that's
parallel.
the fourth parallel will be 1C to 19C. Is that just the one in the middle? Just connect.
well, it's
the two?
parallel to the one that's perpendicular.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right beyond the third.
Okay.
So, and you can learn more. Just visit cltairport.com/news.
That's where I go.
and
That's where I go
You
just
can
to,
find
you know.
all of the
The
information.
front page of the internet.
So don't get lost. Delta is likely somewhere between L, R, and C.
Jeez.
And
Right.
so when you get there, be sure to ask the person who drives the cart around. I usually just try to hop on the cart where they drive you to to
Yeah.
your spot.
Right.
I got weak shins.
Weak shins.
Let me hop on here real
Take
quick.
your shoes off as soon as you get on there, too.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see. Maybe Bill Russell takes his shoes off when he goes to the airport. We'll find out. We'll chat with him at 8:15. Patrick Reynolds, host of the Home Ad Show, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11, whether you're buying, selling, or
You have to take your shoes off
celebrating.
before you go to Davidson.
On Tuesdays.
Okay.
We're also going to share with you the news out of the federal government. If you've been looking to qualify for a mortgage, things might be a little bit easier for you. Also, could be worse for you, I guess, too, at the same time, depending on...
If you're moving or not moving to Davidson.
Just like summer romance, will vanish for a sec, then come back messy. What? More Good Morning LKN coming up on WSIC.
Well, it's July, and we would expect it to be hot and sticky humid, wouldn't we? We're continuing that. Temperatures climb into the low 90s as we go into our Wednesday afternoon around the lake, and as scattered thunderstorms return as well, likely anything that pops up being a slow mover. So be ready. It could rain really heavy for a while, and there could be some flash flooding concerns in a few spots. Overnight, those storms will come to an end, low 70s. back up around 90 with scattered thunderstorms Thursday afternoon. That's your forecast. On the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
When you have problems with your heating system, you need SHA Mechanical. Serving the region since 1975, SHA will make sure your system always stays in the best condition. Visit SHA Mechanical online at shamechanical.com.
This is Daniel.
And this is Marsha.
From NC Auto Repair. Keep that car running like new this new year by stopping by NC Auto Repair for all your automotive needs. We're now offering a customer loyalty program for your oil changes. If it's automotive related, we can handle it. Stop by and see us at 1015 Davie Avenue or call us at 980-223-2957, NC Auto Repair. And remember, if you want to go far, you've got to service that car.
Puppy love starts here. Got a new pup? We've got your back. Zoom Room in Huntersville is your indoor dog training paradise. From obedience to agility to scent work, we train the people who love their dogs. Open 7 days a week. Visit zoomroom.com/Huntersville today.
Swing for Hope at the Next Chapter Station Golf Classic on September 22nd at the 500 Club in Statesville to help bring hope and comfort to children fighting cancer. Your support helps us deliver the book Luke and the Lost Bell to 1,000 hospitals. Register, sponsor, donate at nextchapterstation.org.
Think theater is just about acting? Think again. At Mooresville Community Children's Theater, kids discover confidence, creativity, and community, whether they're center stage or calling cues backstage. Workshops, productions, mentorship, it's all part of helping young people grow. Lake Norman Woman is proud to support and recognize Mooresville Community Children's Theater as one of the nonprofit organizations impacting our community at the Lake Norman Woman of the Year Gala presented by Optimed. Because supporting the arts means investing in bright futures.
Now is the right time to buy or sell your home. I'm Matt Madison with Madison & Company Realty. With high interest rates, low inventory, and a lot of people moving to our area, it makes people wonder. But we have the answers for you. Call us at Madison & Company Realty in Statesville to help you navigate the real estate market. 704-873-7700. Visit us online at madisonandcompanyrealtync.com. Madison & Company Realty, we've got you covered.
Hi, this is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
The best talk all day long.
WSIC.
Local starts here.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. In what is being called a major changing of the guard at Apple, the iPhone maker's second highest-ranking executive announced his retirement. Chief Operating Officer Jeff Williams will step down this month and leave the company later this year. Vice President of Operations Sabi Khan will succeed Williams as COO. Qantas Airways says it is starting to notify customers who were impacted by the cyber attack that was disclosed last week. The Australian carrier says personal information on nearly 6 million passengers was stolen. The range of information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, and meal preferences. A startup backed by Rivian is reportedly valued at $1 billion after getting an investment from Green Oaks Capital. The business, called Also, plans to roll out small electric vehicles. The company has not released any specifics, but says its technology will work with e-bikes as well as 3- and 4-wheel products like microcars. Jeff Bellinger, Bloomberg Radio.
The button pushing stops here.
WSIC. Local starts here.
Give us a call now at 844-STUDIO-4. It's Good Morning LKN on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Good morning, LKN. 7:34. Happy Wednesday to you. Going to chat with Bill Russell, President of the Chamber of Commerce, also host of Town Talk, coming up at 8:15. Also, Patrick Reynolds, host of the Home Ad Show, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. Whether you're buying, selling, or celebrating birthdays and anniversaries, you hang out with Patrick Reynolds. Mentioned to you Davidson this morning, $1 million price tag on, for anything.
That's it. A third of the homes are over $1 million, or 7 figures. Yeah, that's $1 million.
For a lot of folks, you got to have to qualify for a mortgage to buy a house. And obviously in the housing market we're in right now, tight, is that an okay way to describe it? I would say, as far as, price versus demand versus
feels tight.
qualification ability of people. And so the federal government, they've been looking at, President Trump has said he wants to find ways for housing. And then I believe as well his secretary, the U.S. Director of Federal Housing as well, Mr. Pulte here, who I think is related to like Pulte.
I was wondering, is he related to that?
I'm going to guess
He is,
so.
yes.
Yeah.
But they made a big change. Americans can now use rent payments to qualify for a mortgage.
Now, what does that mean? Like what they've been paying in rent? What they've been paying in rent or what they've been receiving as rent?
So part of the process when you get the loan is the underwriting, right? Where the lender reviews all of your stuff.
Right.
And they have some backroom formula that they look at and say, okay, based on what you gave us, you qualify for this. I guess previously your rent payments weren't in that calculation. Like if you have been paying, let's say $2,000 a month for rent at a place, when you went to get a mortgage, while they may like ask you what your rent was, as far as like the formula for determining your credit ability, they weren't including that in there.
That didn't matter.
And so they're saying this is going to make a substantial difference for people to qualify for loans. So I don't think it necessarily ups, your amount,
your credit score or anything like that, does it?
It's not upping like the amount you can borrow in all instances, but it's adding validity to your ability to repay a loan
based on what you could pay.
Correct. That is within the
rent.
range that you are already in.
Gotcha.
For a lot of people, they're paying more in rent than they would if they had a mortgage.
Well, absolutely. When my same condo, I was renting it and then I bought it and my monthly payment went down. Yeah, it went down because it was cheaper for me to, even with the HOA fees that I was having to pay as the owner, it still was less than what I was paying in rent.
And that's not true in all markets, I guess, at this point.
No.
But it is a common factor because that's the whole point. When you buy it as an investment property, we'll say, as investors do, they want to get more in the rents than it costs them to buy and be owners. But it's about being qualified to get that mortgage from a third-party lender. And so now including rent payments and credit histories when evaluating applicants for home loans. And the idea is to expand access to home ownership. Ultimately, they think that this is going to affect the younger generation the most. Because, again, you've been paying rent for the apartment complex you've been living in. You've been waiting on the ability to qualify for a loan. Okay, now when lenders look at it, they're going to be able to say, okay, your credit history, you've been in this apartment for a couple of years. We can factor that in now to, are you qualified? Do we believe you will repay this loan?
Right.
In their calculation. That's not the only twist, though, that they kind of put on it. They're doing it with the credit score process in determining someone's creditability. And they're switching, I guess, from FICO or allowing lenders, instead of just using FICO, there's another determination. I guess Vantage Score 4.0 is the other methodology of reviewing someone's credit, making, basically AI computer-driven determinations on whether or not they think someone, again, will have the ability and will follow through with repaying that loan. The scoring method was introduced by the three major bureaus of Vantage. The Vantage score was the scoring method was introduced. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion all are familiar, I guess, with the Vantage score way that they look at everything and all that kind of stuff. But Pulte made the announcement again yesterday to increase the competition to the credit score ecosystem, and consistent with President Trump's landslide mandate to lower costs, Fannie and Freddie will allow lenders to use Vantage 4.0 score with no current requirement to build new infrastructure. Because there's a lot of, the technicals of they have to, if they're going to use a particular credit score, they got to connect to all these places and do all these tools and have all this stuff.
Cybersecurity.
So they're trying to do it where, one, it's a sweeping change, a big change that gets people qualified, but they want to implement it fast is what that would tell me is.
But is that going to be the same thing when we had the housing the bubble that burst in like 2004, 2005 if you're lowering what the credit score has to be? Is it lowering what the credit score has to be? It's just lowering.
Chill out, Mamie.
I think
they have it figured out.
I think
the government would never do anything that would be detrimental to the regular people in the world.
Vantage Score claims to be the first credit scoring model to incorporate rent payment data when present in the consumer credit file, eliminate paid collections in all medical collections, provide transparency on the inputs that make up the credit score, and offer commercially available credit scores to customers at no cost. So I don't know if it's like, is Vantage Score the one when you open up like your Credit Karma app? And I don't even know if that's still a thing these days.
Yeah.
I think it was Vantage Score is what they were using in that
I think it is what they use. Yeah, the one that like, your credit score,
it's always seemed higher.
Emails, it always seemed higher. You always look like you're doing real great.
And that's the one.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the same exact model, but that concept, right, to where, okay, what you were looking at was data that may have included some generalities of additional items beyond the FICO, like your rental history.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's the number of lenders you're going to be looking at. So your credit score will be higher, meaning you could qualify. So that's the connector piece they're using in this, and using, again, technology to kind of balance it out.
But like Bill said, the government would never do anything that would hurt, everyday people. Never.
Does this increase the amount of loan you can get? Because that's really what it was about 2008, right? Was everyone was getting loans though
more
they
than what
qualified to repay.
Well, is it also with the interest rates being higher now too? Do you think this would get people to buy houses more even with higher interest rates?
That's an interesting question. I think it qualifies you, right? Because your credit score does put a limit on where in the qualifications you can go.
Right.
And opens up certain products. Like you have to have above a certain score to be able to qualify for certain products.
Gotcha.
FHA versus
gotcha.
A general a traditional loan. And so this will open up the market, they think, pretty substantially. But to your point about the pricing, if the price is the thing that's stopping people, regardless of their rent history and their qualification to repay even a lower loan, does that help the equation really that much? It's a good question.
Yeah. Just wondering. Yeah. Just having the conversation and wondering how things are going to shift. I don't think people are I know that people are buying homes less right now. People are not stopping moving here, though. That's still just going to be a thing.
Yeah.
People are just going to continue to move here.
The traditional FICO score, which is Fair Isaac Corporation, by the way, is what that stands for, typically required 6 months of credit before a borrower would be assigned a score. So that's one of the other things, right? If you're really young, you've never had a credit card, you've never had a loan, but you're, you've got a nice job right out of college, but you've never had credit. The Vantage Score, they're saying, can within 30 days create a score for someone.
Because that was the situation I was in with the rental too. I couldn't buy a place because I was not super young, but I had been a stay-at-home mom. I had no credit.
Yeah.
And so I had to rent. Like there was not an option for me to buy anything because I didn't have any credit.
No cred.
Yeah, they were like, you don't have bad credit. You just have no credit. Like you're gonna do something.
Did you say I got street cred?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I got cool points. Does that count? How many points does that add to
Where
my
does that go
credit
into the
score?
Vantage Score?
Right. I think that's how I actually bought the house, just on cool points.
So will this tweak or change anything? 21% of millennials, they say, have thin files. This is in the credit industry. So makes it hard for them to be scored by traditional means. And so if you think millennials, Gen Zers, anybody coming out of college now at this point, you really think above that age, really over 18, you could say, because people going straight to trades. Imagine being an 18-year-old going straight to trades, making $75K a year, $80K a year, just being able to buy a house potentially now.
Yeah.
And you don't
Sounds like the American dream.
Also, is it a bad principle to say, hey, in order to determine you have good credit means you don't have to have a credit card? That's not a bad principle overall.
I think that's a great principle.
I think that's what we kind of want to promote is the ability to actually repay.
Build credit without having to get a credit card.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad mantra, it doesn't sound like. Bill Russell, President of Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce, host of Town Talk. He'll be joining us at 8:15. Don't forget to listen for your cue to call. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. That Luke Combs song. When you hear it, that's when you call in, because that's your chance to get on the list to win tickets to the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony taking place in October. Yeah, Luke Combs is going to be there. He's going to be inducted, and he's going to be performing.
More Good Morning LKN with Justin, Bill, and Mamie is on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, it's July, and we would expect it to be hot and sticky humid, wouldn't we? We're continuing that. Temperatures climb into the low 90s as we go into our Wednesday afternoon around the lake, and as scattered thunderstorms return as well, likely anything that pops up being a slow mover, so be ready. It could rain really heavy for a while, and there could be some flash flooding concerns in a few spots. Overnight, those storms will come to an end, low 70s. Back up around 90 with scattered thunderstorms Thursday afternoon. That's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Thursday, July 10th, the Langtree Live Outdoor Concert Series returns. Groove Skeletons make their Langtree debut. In 2024, they finished second in the Battle of the Bands and now bring their indie rock and fun stage presence to Exit 31 off I-77. Groove Skeletons play at 7 p.m. on Thursday in Mooresville at Langtree Live. Friday night at Birkdale Village in Huntersville is Live Under the Oaks. The Village stage welcomes the music of Joseph Gallo. Gallo is a pop and rock artist whose performance will get you to sing and dance along. Grab your lawn chairs and your blankets for the free show on the plaza. Birkdale restaurants will be open for dinner, and Red Rocks will be on site at the stage for beverages. We'll see you Friday night at 6 p.m. for the Joseph Gallo Show at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday with a performance by Caleb Davis. Davis is a graduate of the Berklee College of Music and plays his original songs and covers many genres from the 40s to today. Don't miss this 6 p.m. show. Visit the 500 Club online for more information on entertainment, food, beverages, and tea times. Bin 110 in Cornelius has live music Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Pluto for Planet Duo plays on Thursday, July 10th. John Sullivan on Friday, and Hey Ladies on Saturday. Bin 110 offers a large selection of whiskeys, wines, cocktails, and small plates. Drinks, eats, and live music are yours at Bin 110 this weekend. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is at Charlotte Motor Speedway for round number 8 on Tuesday, July 15th, when Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts get in free. Click on charlottemotorspeedway.com for more information on the Summer Shootout and other 2025 events. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Now, back to more of Good Morning LKN with Justin, Bill, and Mamie on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Good morning, LKN. 7:48. Happy Wednesday to you. You know, part of the summertime is you want to go swimming.
Yep.
I hope you do. I hope you know how to. You know how to swim?
I love to swim.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to do. If you don't know how to swim, you should go learn how to swim.
I love swimming in the lake.
Yeah.
Or the ocean versus the pool. I much more prefer.
So you will get in the lake.
Mm-hmm.
You have no problem swimming in the lake.
No, I've been in it more times than I've been in the pool this summer. I've been in the lake more than the pool.
I definitely prefer the lake over the pool. There's a lot of people though that get a little icky by getting in the lake.
Yeah.
They're not into it. But there's definitely a lot of people out here that do want to enjoy it. There's a couple of spots you can enjoy the lake around Lake Norman, though they are limited, right? There are very few spots where public beach access, water
That's
entry,
one of the knocks
swim.
on Lake Norman is just not a lot of public access.
And so Beatty's Ford Swim Beach, the area where you can in Denver, because it's Beatty's Ford Swim Beach is what it's
at Beatty's Ford Park. So it opened last month, but I don't think we had talked about it here. So just so you know, it's open Wednesday through Sunday from noon to 6 p.m. No lifeguards on duty. Beach area swim at your own risk, but it's a very small beach area. It doesn't go super deep. Capacity of the beach is about 200 people, and staff monitor it daily. And it's I think it's $3 to get in. Oh, children over 6 are $2. Adults are $3. So nice little trip for the day. Go out, get some sun, play around in the lake, have a good time.
Yeah, like Norman Publications putting up an article about it, and we're showing the picture there of it. The idea of, because I haven't seen the parking scene over there though. That is one thing just to note. If you're going to go over there, I would do some analysis kind of prior to, because 200 people.
It's a lot of people.
That's a decent. I mean, you think what? Average 2.6 per car.
Yeah.
And so you're looking at 75, 80 cars over there. you got to have some spots, and I don't know what that scene looks like. Maybe they got a bunch of spots over there.
Maybe they do. Yeah, go check it out. So if you've been to Beatty Sport Park, let us know. I've never been over there.
Never been to Denver?
I've been to Denver. Just, I have to go strategic times. That's 73.
They're saying that the water's tested weekly. Is the water not tested daily?
I mean, it's kind of constantly monitored to some degree. Now, what level of testing is done? Daily, weekly, monthly, annually, never? It's a fair question. Because all the algae,
Yeah.
I was swimming in over the weekend. There was algae.
Didn't bother you?
I think it touched my lips.
Okay.
I don't know what happens
So
after
your
that,
test subject number 1. We'll see what happens over the
But
next
I didn't
30
mean
days.
to. Like I was just doing like the normal, like because if you swim, like you gonna get water in your mouth.
Right.
You know
Did you say take back?
Nah,
Just kidding.
I don't think I
Just
did.
kidding. JK?
I kind of got mad at it, like I kind of slapped
fought
it.
it?
I physically I got a little physical with it.
You got to get physical with the algae out there.
It didn't call the cops on me, but I definitely let it know who was the boss.
Okay.
That's for sure.
I've not seen any of the algae out there. Now, I'm on Lake Cornelius, so we're all good over there. We're
you're
super
got your
clean.
own- yeah,
we got no problems on Lake
purist.
Cornelius. You can just take a bath in that water if you want to.
And I don't know. And maybe it wasn't algae. Maybe it was just like horse grass
Kelp.
or something like that. Yeah, it's just something normal. I guess
Right.
I'm not trained in the ways of knowing.
See it, shoot it.
The distinctions here. It was brown too, and kind of soft. I don't know if that helps.
That's not
or
green
hurts.
or blue.
That's not algae then. If it's brown and kind of soft, you got something else wrong, pal.
Again, it touched my lips, so things got weird. I tried to swim away, but it kept coming
It
after
kept coming
me.
after
You know what I
you?
mean? Like when you kind of kicking away and it's like
Yeah.
following you.
Yeah.
It was doing that, and my kids are just laughing at me.
That was a little
like,
normie gift for you, is what? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. Exactly what it was.
They do talk about sometimes in boats be dumping stuff. And stuff.
Well, yeah. My dog likes to swim in the lake too.
Yeah. Now, but this thing had green growing out of it. You know what I mean? Kind of like little
Okay.
whiskers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should have taken a sample of that.
Headed on over to the
Heading over to
Blythe
Davidson
Landing.
College,
Oh,
to the
Davidson.
research center. Yeah. Be like, I brought you guys.
No, I would have taken that thing straight to NC State.
Okay.
Straight all the way. All the way. So, okay, if you're
Davidson
looking,
just sends it, or NC State sends it to Davidson.
They do send it to Davidson. All right, here's the rules for the Beatty's part.
there's
Sport
rules. You
Park.
gotta have
Yes, here's the
rules.
rules.
Oh, you got fishing rules too.
Yeah, you
Cool,
can
we
fish
can
there
fish.
as well. Yeah, no alcohol, no smoking, vaping, tobacco or hemp use, no swimming or jumping from the pier, no overnight after hours fishing, no glass, no cutting bait or cleaning fish at the pier, in the park, or in the restrooms. That's a very important
that's it for
one.
me.
You're
I
not
can
going
handle the
now?
no drinking and no smoking and all that. But you don't let me cut my bait where I want to cut my bait at. This is Denver, too. We're talking about.
You got
by
to
the
open
way.
up the
Lincoln
baby
County?
changing station. Yeah, cut your bait.
Not letting me live my life the way I choose anymore. What has
Oh.
happened to Lincoln County?
There's a boat ramp there as well, so it's open. You can drop your boat in if you.
No dogs or pets, too. That's the other big one.
Oh, no dogs or pets. That is a big one.
Yeah. I think that's the same. Is that the same at Ramsey Creek, too?
Well, I take Layla to Ramsey Creek a good bit, but
But not to the beach area, though.
No, not to the open beach area. I
Right.
take her to the side beaches.
Well, they even have a dog park at Ramsey
They have a
Creek.
dog park, but it's not on the water. So I take her down. You have to. I mean, I keep her on the leash, but I take her to one of those little side beaches, and she.
Really keep her on the leash?
I keep her on the leash. I'm a rule follower in this instance. Yes, take care of her. So she loves it over there. That's her favorite park. Plus that very cool playground.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? Oh, is this
Cuticle.
Is this fast cars?
This is Fast Cars, yeah. This is Fast Cars by Luke Combs. So this is your cue to call. Give Bill a call. 844-STUDIO-4. And if you're listening on demand, send us an email to studio@WSICnews.com. Social at WSICnews.com. There you go.
All right, so your chance to win tickets to the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It's going down in October. It'll be at Mooresville Performing Arts Center. It's going to be a packed venue. Tickets are already sold out. And this is your chance to win some tickets. Guess what? Luke Combs is getting inducted into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame. He will be there. He will do a little set. Looking forward to that. And a lot of other great artists as well. Again, I am continuously pleasantly surprised, I will say, at the variety of artists that do exist.
So the other artists that we have are Robert Deaton, Dex Romweber, David Childers, Clyde Maddox, Chatty Hattie, And so they'll all be inducted into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame. Chetty Hattie, one of the very first African-American female DJs.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And they all will do a little performance. And for those that have passed, someone will do a number.
Yeah, so last year,
celebrating them.
Anthony Hamilton came, former inductee. That was very cool to see him and meet him.
Petey Pablo was there.
Petey Pablo was there, yeah. So it was just a really, really cool place. And there'll be other, North Carolina musicians in the audience as well. So you got a chance to walk the red carpet and, do all that fun stuff too. So
That's right. Bill's taking your calls, 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. So call in. You get your name on the list. Then on Fridays is when we spin that wheel. Now, you can call in each day when you're listening to make sure
spinning a wheel?
You can. Well, maybe we will spin the wheel on Friday.
I've never spun the wheel for this show, at least.
It might be the first time. We've done a digital wheel before, but maybe
We have done a digital wheel. We had the wheel of fish last summer. So,
That's right.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And so each week you can call, and each day you can call to get your name on the wheel. Now, once you've won, you can't win twice, but you can call each day and get your name on the list as many times as you want. So then that way you have the best chance of winning. Again, the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony for 2025 going down in October. And so you've got your chance, to win tickets because, again, the event is sold out. And it'll be a great time at the Mooresville Performing Arts Center. And so that's a great song, though, too, by the way.
I love that song, yeah.
Did he perform that at one of the award ceremonies,
He
too?
did.
With
Tracy Chapman. So
Yeah.
Tracy Chapman wrote that song, performed
right.
it with Tracy Chapman at, I think, the Country Music
And she hadn't
Awards.
performed in like a long time, I
Like
think.
20
when they
years
did
or
that.
something like that. Yeah, it was really, really good performance. So
Very cool.
looking forward to the whole ceremony. And thanks to Mooresville Arts and Events and North Carolina Music Hall of Fame for those tickets.
Yeah. There you go. Jam with it.
We got our contestant today.
Okay.
So you got the email social@wsicnews.com.
Okay. All right. There you go. Something else going on that might be changing. You better slow down, though, in those fast cars because speed cameras in school zones, I guess, are now allowed. It was part of a omnibus bill that came out of DOT. Senator Vicky Sawyer being involved on this one, and Governor Stein did sign it into law. Speed cameras now are legal in North Carolina within school zones.
So is this going to be like the red light camera that would take a picture of you if you ran the light?
I believe so.
So if you're speeding, it's just going to take a picture and just send you a ticket automatically?
I would imagine so. Within school zones.
Within school zones, yeah.
Now, the school zones.
That's going to be a big ticket.
That's a big old
That is a
ticket.
big
That's a
ticket.
big old automated
They might
ticket.
show up and hand you that one in person. It's worth it.
School zones typically have specific hours as well, right? That during certain hours, that speed is reduced through that zone. And so that you just got to use caution, I would say. And not sure which districts are going to do it, aren't going to do it.
It's best to assume that all
of them.
are.
They all. If you don't see it, it's there. Yeah, you need to slow down in school zones anyway, guys. The new law on cities and towns to set speed cameras in school zones. Drivers caught speeding are subject to a $250 fine, but will not get points against their driver's license. Each ticket issued will have a picture of the speeding car, the date, the time, and the recorded speed.
Okay, so now it kind of makes it seem like let's inverse this, go real fast. Like,
You just
go
got
90.
$250 to burn just
and
for the fun?
If
you're
you want to
gonna do
just
it,
feel
do it.
something, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
And then you got the
that's-
picture to prove it.
Yeah.
I did it.
And it's summertime. School's not even in session right now.
They're not going to give you a point?
It says no points. No points against their driver's license. Yeah.
Man.
It's not worth it for you anymore?
No. It's just you should get a point.
You should get
You
points.
should get points.
You should get points. All right.
I thought that was the system.
We talk about
Those
practice.
were the rules.
Yeah.
We had rules. Now we're changing the rules.
No points. No
Just
points.
$250. Is it worth it for you then at that point? Just the $250 to be able to go 90
I don't
on
speed.
in a school zone?
I don't speed in a school zone. I don't have any desire to speed.
In general.
You don't have the need for speed.
I don't have the need for speed.
I
got the need to get to work. And I'll
But
do whatever I
thankfully,
got to
you
do.
don't go through any school zones on your way to
I'll
work.
do whatever I got to do to get to work. But yeah.
Yeah, no school zones on your way to work. Thank goodness.
So $250. There
Yeah.
you go. That's all it'll take for you to get to work some days. That's okay.
Different than the toll lane.
Hey, congrats to the contestant that got on the list for the ticket giveaway for the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame. Listen for each day for your chance to win when you hear that Luke Combs song. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464.
Serving you better than ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290DK Mooresville, W264CU Statesville.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Best equipment ever made.
President Trump also offering his harshest assessment yet of Russian President Vladimir Putin, accusing him of throwing around BS.
He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The president says there's trade news coming.
President Trump posting on social media, we will be releasing a minimum of 7 countries having to do with trade tomorrow morning, meaning this morning, with an additional number of countries being released in the afternoon. The president also announced the U.S. will impose a 50% tariff on imported copper, a critical component in making electrical components and the wiring. He also claimed the new tariff deadline in August is a firm date.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. Fox confirms the Justice Department has former CIA Chief John Brennan and FBI Chief James Comey under criminal investigation over their handling of the 2016 Russia-Trump election interference investigation. Criminal referral comes from current CIA Director John Ratcliffe. A man and 2 children are killed in the flash flooding in New Mexico. More deaths are confirmed in Texas in the flooding that hit last Friday.
That death toll right now at 111 people. That includes at least 30 children here in Kerr County. Unfortunately, that number expected to rise dramatically because 170 people still missing. Trees snapped in half. These massive piles of debris stretching along the river for what seems like miles and miles.
Fox's Brooke Taylor in Kerr County, Texas. America's listening to Fox News.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
No more taking your shoes off at airport security.
After nearly 20 years, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says TSA is ending its shoe removal policy.
We have the multi-layers of screening in place that we've built in over the recent several years that give us the ability to allow our travelers to keep their shoes on.
Speaking at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport in D.C.
It's important that we find ways to keep people safe, but also streamline and make the process much more enjoyable for every single person.
Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Former President Biden's White House physician is scheduled to sit for an interview today.
Dr. Kevin O'Connor is expected before the House Oversight Committee, despite attempts from his lawyers to reschedule the deposition to the end of July or early August due to patient privilege concerns. The committee subpoenaed O'Connor as part of the GOP's investigation into former President Biden's alleged mental decline and cover-up, as well as his use of the auto pen during his term. Chairman James Comer calls the patient privilege argument unprecedented, and the committee says the privilege will be honored on a question-by-question basis. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
4 former top New York City police officials are suing Mayor Eric Adams.
These 4 new lawsuits come from 4 former police chiefs who allege that several of Mayor Adams' close allies in the NYPD encouraged bribes in return for promotions and allege they faced retaliation after they spoke up. They also allege that Mayor Adams knew what was going on and approved it. In a statement, a spokesperson for Adams says, quote, "The Adams administration holds all city employees, including leadership at the NYPD, NYPD to the highest standards, and our work at the department speaks for itself. We will review the lawsuits.
Fox 5 New York's Morgan Mackay. Ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street, Dow futures are up 126, S&P futures up 13, NASDAQ futures are up as well, 46 points. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Well, it's July, and we would expect it to be hot and sticky humid, wouldn't we? We're continuing that. Temperatures climb into the low 90s as we go into our Wednesday afternoon around the lake, and as scattered thunderstorms return as well, likely anything that pops up being a slow mover. So be ready. It could rain really heavy for a while, and there could be some flash flooding concerns in a few spots. Overnight, those storms will come to an end, low 70s. Back up around 90 with scattered thunderstorms Thursday afternoon. That's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Kane Center for the Arts. We're more than a venue. We're the heart of creativity in the Lake Norman region, bringing exceptional visual arts, performing arts, and unforgettable gallery experiences to our community. Discover the difference. kanearts.org.
Smile like you mean it. At Clear Smile, we use the most advanced orthodontic technology in the world. The Light Force Braces system has been proven to be more accurate and faster than stock metal braces. Located in Birkdale Landing, book a free consultation online at clearsmilecharlotte.com.
Warning, no lifeguard on duty. We're back with more Good Morning LKN, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Good morning, okay, and 8:06. Happy Wednesday to you. Look forward to chatting with Bill Russell, president of Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce. He's also host of Town Talk. We'll do that at 8:15 after we get a look at the streets with Jim. Patrick Reynolds, host of the Home Ad Show Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. Whether you're buying, selling, or celebrating birthdays and anniversaries, we're going to hang out with Patrick Reynolds about 8:45. Congrats to today's winner of getting entered in to win North Carolina Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony tickets. You know, it's sold out already, but we've got tickets. You got to get your name on the list, though. And then on Fridays over the next 3 weeks, some wheel of some way, shape, or form will get spun, and a winner will be selected. Luke Combs is getting inducted along with some other great artists, and they will be performing, including Luke, during the ceremony. Looking forward to that. A couple of things happening that kind of go from local to national. Do you know who Roy Cooper is?
I do.
Former governor
of North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Some posts came out yesterday, a couple of federal ones. They've since been removed, it looks like, but maybe making too early of a call, claiming that Cooper is indeed planning on running.
I saw that as well
for
yesterday.
the U.S. Senate seat.
He's thinking about running. And Laura Trump, is she the other one that people are talking about?
It's certainly up for conversation right now.
I saw a story early this morning about, like, because she doesn't live here in North Carolina, what it would take for her to be able to run. She'd have to buy a house by September, I think. So
I don't think that'll be a problem.
I don't think that'll be a problem either. But that's what they were talking about. She went to UNC Wilmington, I think. Did she grow up here, or
she was born here?
She was born
I think she
here.
went to NC State. She grew up in Wilmington.
Grew up in Wilmington.
She went to
NC State.
Laney High School.
Okay.
So we'll see
same as Michael Jordan.
How the U.S. says that's
same as Michael Jordan. Oh, that's a fun fact.
Senator Tillis's seat. We'll see how that one shapes up. And then you throw in the X factor of Elon Musk's potential new political party, the American Party. Will the North Carolina U.S. Senate seat be one of those seats that Elon throws some dollars behind to try to disrupt? Because we saw the effect, Senator Tillis certainly having some weight in the Senate. I mean, everybody basically does in the Senate at this point. But seeing that North Carolina, which has traditionally been pretty centered, right? We're pretty right smack dab in the middle on a lot of the issues.
A lot of things, yeah. Call us sometimes a purple state, swing state. Yeah, we can go either way. But, yeah, be interested to see kind of what's going to happen over the next. So when do they have to declare? Is it December of this year when they have to say if they're going to run?
That's a great question. I don't want to make up a bunch of dates and be wrong, so we'll wait till next time. I'll ask Bill Russell, President of Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce. I would assume he'll know, generally speaking, way better than I would. I would say you should have already had to file. We should already have to know.
Now, for local elections, that was this week, yesterday?
It opened up.
Yeah, yesterday opened up. So, yeah, you can go to Mecklenburg County Board of Elections and see who's signed up so far. Or I guess, I'm not sure for Iredell County what theirs are, but I know Mecklenburg County was this week.
I think the two that has been said, at least for mayors locally, right? So obviously Cornelius, you've got Mayor Washam, and then former commissioner, former candidate for mayor, Dennis Bilodeau, is running in Cornelius. And then in Huntersville, I believe Dan Boone is set to run, and Christy Clark.
Christy Clark is going to run again. And then I saw Rusty Knox also announce that he was going to run again. So good luck to everybody out there. And
there will be more in Iredell across
and Lincoln County as well. So lots to talk about, too, over the next few months.
No shortage. One big thing that's shifting, though, because, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act was signed by President Trump. And so now, the planning of particular spending scenarios are being looked at. Governor Stein having some thoughts on the federal spending bill as it relates to Medicaid, because North Carolina, just in the past couple of years, been working quite a bit on Medicaid expansion, and that being part of the conversation of, okay, who is going to pay for this expansion now? And there is about, over the next decade, projected, and this is the Carolina Journal having an article on this, $32 billion budget hole over the next decade as it relates to the Medicaid expansion that North Carolina now has in place. And we can skip to the latter part of the story, because it always comes back to, how do you pay for it? Mm-hmm. That's always what it comes down to. You kind of have two options that, traditionally speaking, you raise taxes, because taxes is how the government pays for the services.
Right.
Or you chop services, and you got to reduce down the amount of people that receive coverage, or at least the level of coverage per person.
Execute order
if you're
66.
Trying to keep, the numbers you've got.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's going to be certainly a huge debate. The 2023 law, they say, added 650,000 people in North Carolina to the entitlement program, or the ability to take place in the entitlement program. And a lot of, I think, what the spending bill out of the Fed does, the OBBBA,
One Big Beautiful Bill,
is changes the work requirements, I think, is a big factor in that. If you're in need of Medicaid, and I'm assuming, I think in Medicaid is the one dealing with socioeconomically, right, financially, whether or not you need that kind of supplemental support or not. Working, I think it's 80 hours a month is going to be the new standard of, okay, if you want this, you at least have to be if you're able, because there's other criteria like, hey, are you able to work? Do you fall in these categories that say, hey, you may have something going on, some need,
right,
but you are able to work. Increasing the amount of hours to 80 seems to be the big conversation. Now, for someone who is able-bodied to work, it kind of seems reasonable. But if you believe that there is a physical reason, or some reason, we'll say, could be mental, could be
physical,
yeah, could be another reason that you can't work. But now the threshold kind of changing of that standard, and that's the really the big debate. How does North Carolina land on this? What should we do? It's interesting to learn that while there's federal dollars, so it obviously all had to do with the way the system was designed, was we were getting money back from the Fed, right? Like that's clearly now the way that the whole thing was designed. That not being the option anymore. And so that kind of bill is becoming due, if you would, and we're going to have that conversation at some point. It's a tough one, too, because the state health plan, we've already talked about that, too, right? That's got a huge deficit.
Yes.
This all being part of it, too, Medicaid expansion, which goes beyond state health plan.
And you got to find a way to pay for all these things, yeah. So
it ain't magic.
Right. So what's going to happen?
Bunch of AI robots walking around, tokens, using your Vantage score.
Yeah, all kinds of options. I think it's just going to be robots. Just robots are going to fix everything. Robots and AI. We'll just fix it. Just put it in AI. It'll tell you what to do.
Yeah, so the other part of it is SNAP benefits, I guess, as well, as also part of this conversation, or leans into the healthcare space. So healthcare, I would argue, the remainder of this year going into 2026, going to be a
hot topic.
Huge conversation.
Yeah, that's going to be the one that people are really going to be talking and arguing about, I think, for this and then the next presidential election, too.
Yeah. And surprisingly, the American Party is going a different route. So that's Elon's new party. They're going in with supposedly some of the rhetoric coming out is about Epstein, and that they're leaning into that of the releasing of the files. Attorney General Pam Bondi did have a reason, she said, why the video was missing. we'll play that a little bit later on. She did give a reason why. There was 1 minute, I guess, within this, 12, 18 hours or however long it was, worth of video. There was 1 minute missing, and she gave an explanation as for why.
Stay where you are. There's more Good Morning LKN with Justin, Bill, and Mamie on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, it's July, and we would expect it to be hot and sticky humid, wouldn't we? We're continuing that. Temperatures climb into the low 90s as we go into our Wednesday afternoon around the lake, and as scattered thunderstorms return as well, likely anything that pops up being a slow mover. So be ready. It could rain really heavy for a while, and there could be some flash flooding concerns in a few spots. Overnight, those storms will come to an end, low 70s. Back up around 90 with scattered thunderstorms Thursday afternoon. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Thursday, July 10th, the Langtree Live Outdoor Concert Series returns. Groove Skeletons make their Langtree debut. In 2024, they finished second in the Battle of the Bands and now bring their indie rock and fun stage presence to Exit 31 off I-77. Groove Skeletons play at 7 p.m. on Thursday in Mooresville at Langtree Live. Friday night at Brookdale Village in Huntersville is Live Under the Oaks. The Village stage welcomes the music of Joseph Gallo. Gallo is a pop and rock artist whose performance will get you to sing and dance along. Grab your lawn chairs and your blankets for the free show on the plaza. Brookdale restaurants will be open for dinner, and Red Rocks will be on site at the stage for beverages. We'll see you Friday night at 6 p.m. for the Joseph Gallo Show at Brookdale Village in Huntersville. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday with a performance by Caleb Davis. Davis is a graduate of the Berklee College of Music and plays his original songs and covers many genres from the 40s to today. Don't miss this 6 p.m. show. Visit the 500 Club online for more information on entertainment, food, beverages, and tea times. Bin 110 in Cornelius has live music Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Pluto for Planet Duo plays on Thursday, July 10th. John Sullivan on Friday, and Hey Ladies on Saturday. Bin 110 offers a large selection of whiskeys, wines, cocktails, and small plates. Drinks, eats, and live music are yours at Bin 110 this weekend. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is at Charlotte Motor Speedway for round number 8 on Tuesday, July 15th, when Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts get in free. Click on charlottemotorspeedway.com for more information on the Summer Shootout and other 2025 events. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Brunch 5 days a week? Yes, please. From Wednesday to Sunday, 10 to 2:30, Paloma serves bold bites, mimosas, and morning magic. Bring Dad in for Father's Day. Walk-ins welcome. Reservations encouraged. Visit palomacocktails.com.
Warning, no lifeguard on duty. We're back with more Good Morning LKN, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Good morning, LKN. 8:18. Happy Wednesday to you. Wow. Already moving through the day, too. Getting closer to that 9 o'clock hour when you're supposed to be at work. Are you still writing notes these days for people?
Oh, yeah. Still. Yeah. If you need one, let me know.
RideICATS.com. Alternative transportation. $3 each day, each way to commute from Iredell County down to the city of Charlotte. Cruising in the HOV lane with Jim. Good morning, sir. How are things looking?
Good morning. Good morning. Well, we finally crawled into Center City. That's where we're at now. They're starting southbound at about exit number 13. It was walking speed. A lot of traffic, and it looked like it was jammed up all the way down to South Carolina. But happy note was northbound was running fine until you get to about Hamburg, and then it jams up again. But no accidents, no reported problems on back streets from here to Statesville. So everything seems to be looking fine. Nobody was having any problems. Probably a lot of people were late for work.
Jim, I've always
That's all
wondered. I've wondered, Jim, if we all really did the keep the same foot, you know what I mean, while driving on 77, could we accomplish it just kind of continuously going rather than the speed up, stop, speed up, stop, speed up, stop? Do you think it's ever possible?
No, I can remember driving in Philadelphia called the Schuylkill Expressway. They used to call it the Shortkill Expressway. And a friend of mine was a traffic announcer from a helicopter, and he could never figure out who was stopping in the middle of the road to get everybody to stop. He'd fly over there, and they'd all be going again. He said it's amazing. Amazing.
What a conundrum. Jim?
Yeah. I don't know. There isn't anything you can do about it.
We'll keep trying, though.
Just keep watching 500 feet ahead.
That's good. Good rule of thumb. Thanks, Jim. We appreciate you. Look forward to chatting with you tomorrow.
All right. You take care.
All right. See you, sir. Bye.
Bye-bye.
ICATS.com, $1 from your front door each day to run errands around Iredell County. Today's Wednesday, so yesterday was Tuesday. That's when you could have went to the VA in Salisbury.
Right.
Tomorrow's Thursday. You can go to Winston-Salem. Tomorrow, Friday, you can go to Hickory. ICATS.com. Bill Russell, president of Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce. He's also the host of Town Talk. It airs every Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. here on WSIC. If you miss it live, you can always catch it on demand wherever you watch on social, wherever you listen to your podcast, and always the WSIC News app. Bill, filing season, I believe, is officially open for candidates that are running. Is it just for this year's local elections?
Well, actually, school board, too.
Okay, school board is open as well. So when you actually file, is there like you have to do a dance? Is it a sing-along contest? What do you do? Or do you just shout it? How do you actually file?
You make sure that you take your smartphone and you take a picture and get it out there for everybody. Hey, I'm filing today with your campaign sign. So that's at least one thing that you do. You work that social media.
That's it. That's right.
All right. So from what you're seeing then, anything initially kind of that you heard, see, or anybody who's filed, anything standing out to you across the board right now?
Well, it's still really, really, really early. You've only had 2 days filing. But the thing that, 3 days now. This is the third day. But the one that surprised was Connie Wessner, who is a former Davidson commissioner. She filed, and I had talked to Rusty Knox about a week ago, and I said, what do you think is going to happen? And he was pretty sure he had one commissioner stepping down and one person who was going to be running for it, and that wasn't the person we were talking about. So Connie threw her name in the hat, and that's first we heard of that. So that's kind of a new development, but nothing so far in Cornelius. It's just the incumbents in Cornelius filing, minus Scott Higgins currently. And then in Huntersville, pretty much the same, just incumbents so far.
So Davidson may have a contested seat for commissioner. Is that the idea? Possibly. Well, I guess we'll see if it does end up that way. But that's potential.
I met a gentleman last week who was planning on running for the open seat that will be available, and if Connie's filed, and she has, that means yes, you're finally going to have a contested race in Davidson. If he throws his name in the hat, so yes, you're going to have a contested race, and you got a contested race in Cornelius for mayor. At least right now. And while that hasn't occurred in Huntersville, I've been told that Dan Boone is going to run against Christy Clark. So we're going to have some races.
Okay, we'll see what happens as the time continues. Do you know when the filing deadline is by chance? Because I don't, and so I didn't know.
It's the 7th through the 17th.
Oh, so it's a short window. You got to know.
Yes.
You got to be ready to do it.
So we'll know, in a couple of days. By next week, who all's running?
Yeah.
There you go. Bill Russell, president of Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce. Someone may be asking, Bill, why is the chamber president talking about politics and advocacy? How does advocacy play into what the chamber does overall?
Well, politics is in every facet of your life. I mean, so if you sit down with your wife and say, "Look, Mamie, if you let me do this today, I'll do this tomorrow." Guess what? You just made a deal, and that's politics, darling. That is absolutely what that is. Politics is relationships and deals, and that's what that is. And advocacy it's really important that you have somebody out there, pitching for your business. And so that's not primarily the reason why most people join the Chamber of Commerce, but by having the voice of 850 businesses, it gives us a lot of leverage with our local, county, state, federal authorities.
I saw the release go out today, which I don't think you're going to have any problem selling it out, but the golf tournament's wide open. Share about the golf tournament. What's the purpose of the golf tournament as it relates to the Chamber?
Well, the golf really was always just a ways and means for the Chamber of Commerce to help non-dues revenue, so our dues can continue to be nominal and not very expensive. But it's also an opportunity for people to network and socialize on the golf course. So sometimes you will see some of the people within the business community involved in the golf tournament that you won't see any time else of the year. They just like to go play golf. So you might have the MSCs and the Southwires and some of those that typically you might not see at a lunch. Well, you might see them at a luncheon. So if we had Senator Tillis or somebody like that come and speak, you might see them at that, and they might show up at the annual meeting. But this is just an opportunity for them to get out and socialize on the links.
A lot of opportunities for networking when you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Bill, what are some of the other events that are taking place now? Because that golf tournament's not till what, October-ish, something like that?
That's in October. We had a fantastic WINS meeting yesterday, which is primarily women influence and networking and sharing at H2 Public House. Leslie said, even though it was the summer months, we had about 50 women there.
Wow.
Always targeting women and women's subjects. However, that doesn't mean that you and I can't go down there, Justin. It's just we're going to be outnumbered. But anyway, that takes place. We're going to be having a coffee connection next week. So that's taking place, business before hours. Boatyard's got a business after hours coming up here. I don't know exactly when it is, but it's coming up here pretty soon. And then we had the Fin and Fino. We had a business after hours just a week ago down at Fin and Fino. So that was a really, really nice occasion.
There's a lot of networking events. There's just the general opportunity, too, if you are a small business owner. When you become a member of the Chamber of Commerce, one of the things that the Chamber loves to do is actually celebrate businesses. And that starts with a grand opening, a ribbon cutting. How's the ribbon cuttings during the summertime? What's it looking like on the calendar for you guys?
We have been busy. Last year we had, I think it was 70 ribbon cuttings. It was a lot of ribbon cuttings we were doing, and it looks like we're on track to do that again this year. They have me hopping with my scissors, and usually we don't have them on Saturdays, but we did have one a couple of weeks ago at a yoga place down in Huntersville. And my gosh, they must have had 200 people there. So In Shine, I think, was the name of that new business. But it's, I'll tell you, that is a really nice moment for folks when you can see the expression on their face when they cut the ribbon in there. They started their new business. And so it's always really, really neat to be able to participate in that moment of their lives.
Bill Russell, president of the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce. He's also host of Town Talk. It airs every Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. You can listen to it live on the radio. You can watch it anywhere you do on social media, catch it on demand anywhere you listen to podcasts, and always the WSIC News app available on iOS and Google Play. Had the opportunity to be on the show with you for the first time, right, is what we decided last week. Bill, great conversation. Andy Yates, Andy Upchurch. You obviously were there, and I was there, and it was a good time. What's on tap for the show today?
We have Dennis Billadou, Angela Sweat, and John Anarella. The topic is really going to be Big Day at the Lake. Going to be some changes this year. You were mentioning your earlier experience with maybe some potential algae. Although I'm with Mamie, if it's soft and brown floating in the water, I'm not really sure it's algae. I'd stay away from that. But there's been some concerns having kids out there that in certain coves they're gonna pull back on the boating this year and just have the picnic. So hopefully that won't deter the crowds and bringing the kids out. It's a tremendous opportunity to raise money for big brothers, big sisters, and so and we always do a really good job. Dave Yoakum, fantastic. And then big news with Dave yesterday. You probably saw he's selling. He has sold Cornelius today, business today. So congratulations to John Show.
Yep. Great advice, too, by the way, on the algae for me.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Bill.
Yeah.
And, yes, congrats to Dave Yoakum. Outstanding gentleman, always has been top tier. I've always enjoyed conversations with him. Hope the best for him as he continues on in his journey. And what a legacy he's leaving behind. And so, yeah, Big Brothers Big Sisters, benefactor of Big Day at the Lake, a wonderful event that has taken place for quite some time here in the Lake Norman area to support those in need. And thanks, Bill. We're looking forward to the show today.
Yes, sir. Take care.
You should really stick around to hear what the crazy gang of three have to say next. Good morning, LKN on WSIC.
Well, it's July, and we would expect it to be hot and sticky humid, wouldn't we? We're continuing that. Temperatures climb into the low 90s as we go into our Wednesday afternoon around the lake, and as scattered thunderstorms return as well, likely anything that pops up being a slow mover. So be ready. It could rain really heavy for a while, and there could be some flash flooding concerns in a few spots. Overnight, those storms will come to an end, low 70s. Back up around 90 with scattered thunderstorms Thursday afternoon. That's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshlawFirm.com.
With 5 area locations, Desco is your go-to resource for electrical supplies. Albemarle, Mooresville, Salisbury, Statesville, and Lexington. No matter where the job takes you, you're sure to be close to a Desco. Shop now at DescoInc.com.
Harrison's is the home of Work, Western, and Wow! For nearly 30 years, our family has been boots on the ground when it comes to work. We have the largest selection of in-stock boots in the Carolinas and the best workwear brands like Ariat, Carhartt, and Wrangler. Find us on Norman Station Boulevard in Mooresville.
Harness the healing power of horses. With the amazing staff at Willow Equine in Mooresville, we create a supportive environment conducive to healing and growth, dedicated to self-discovery and overcoming adversity. There's a program for you at willowequine.com.
Jay White here from Central Line of Realty. We're right in the center of North Carolina, and we put you at the center of everything we do. If you're selling a home, buying a home, or adding doors to your rental portfolio, put the team at Central Line of Realty to work for you. Go to centrallineofrealty.com and let's get started.
Looking for a unique gift? We've got it. The Local Collective is your go-to for handmade, heartfelt, and locally made. Over 40 local makers under one roof. Come visit us in July, mention this ad, and score a free gift. Visit thelocalcollectivenc.com.
Hey folks, you know Randy Marion is the king of price when it comes to buying a new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, but how about king of price when it comes to the service department? Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, Randy Marion Ford Lincoln in Statesville has you covered on tires, brakes, batteries, wipers, you name it. Any service you need on your vehicle, regardless of the make or model, come see Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville Service Department or Randy Marion Ford Lincoln Service Department today.
Swing for hope at the Next Chapter Station Golf Classic on September 22nd at the 500 Club in Statesville to help bring hope and comfort to children fighting cancer. Your support helps us deliver the book Luke and the Lost Bell to 1,000 hospitals. For more information, visit nextchapterstation.org.
The #1 station for people who say we're their favorite station.
WSIC.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. A major deal in the drug industry today. Merck has agreed to buy UK biotech Verona Pharma for about $10 billion to offset the looming loss of patent protection on its top-selling cancer drug, Keytruda. Verona is focused on a drug that won U.S. approval last year to treat chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD. The flooding in Texas ranks as one of the deadliest and costliest flash floods in the history of the country. It's still too early to know the final toll, but a preliminary financial estimate from AccuWeather puts the total damage and economic loss at as high as $22 billion. President Donald Trump is vowing to push ahead with his aggressive tariff plans. The president also indicated that the U.S. would implement a higher than expected 50% tariff on copper imports. Stocks edged lower yesterday for the most part. The Dow was down 166 points. The S&P slipped 4. The NASDAQ added 6 points. Futures are higher. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
No radio? No worries.
Just ask Alexa to play WSIC.
Give us a call now at 844-STUDIO-4. It's Good Morning LKN on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Good morning, Okan. 8:34. Those are sweet sounds right there. You're going to be able to hear those sweet sounds in the town of Mooresville this Friday because it is Rock the Park going on, and the Chain is going to be performing. Someone who knows about the Chain, Christine Patterson. She is the Director of Experience and Engagement for the town of Mooresville, but she's also the host of I Heart Mooresville that airs every Tuesday from 11 to noon. Christine, not only did you have the Chain on the show, but I didn't tell you, they were warming up in the hallway before. And so kind of the whole office building got a little taste of what to expect this Friday.
It was unbelievable. It was amazing to hear live, for sure.
Oh, I know. That group specifically, we've wanted to bring for a little while and just, trying to find a date that works. And they're amazing. I mean, the entire band, they're very talented. They sound great together, the backup vocals, everything. But Danny Carr's, of course, the band is fronted by Danny Carr, who was on America's Got Talent, season 18. That powerhouse voice, I mean, and that she sounds like Stevie Nicks. But she also has her own flavor of it. And it's just haunting. I get chills when she sings.
Rock the Park going on this Friday, 6:30 p.m. And this one is at Liberty Park, right? Is where Rock the Park concert series goes down at?
Yes, so Liberty Park this Friday. Of course, you can see the Chain. If you got to hear them on the radio yesterday, you're going to get the whole concert this Friday, a Fleetwood Mac tribute. That's at 6:30, but food trucks and breweries will be on site and vendors at 6 o'clock, so you can grab a bite to eat from one of our fabulous food trucks and get a beer and just set up on the lawn, enjoy the show. Those are, right in downtown Mooresville at Liberty Park.
Now, Rock the Park Summer Concert Series has been going on since May. You guys had the TAMs in May. You had Crucial Fire in June. This, the Chain being the July featured artist, the Fleetwood Mac tribute show. Now, we've been waiting on the one for August because it was going to be pretty high up as far as who you guys were bringing in. So who is going to be performing in August for Rock the Park Summer Concert Series in the town of Mooresville, Christine?
Yes. So, drum roll, 38 Special.
Oh, wow.
So we are bringing that 80s classic rock band, 38 Special. Hold on loosely because they're coming. We are going to truly rock the park with this rock and roll band.
I got what you were doing there, the hold on loosely, by the way.
Yeah. She's been dropping little hints, too, this whole time. And then whenever they announced it, I was like, oh, it all makes sense now. She was saying it's going to be really special. I was like, oh, I get it now, Christine. I get it.
Yeah, it's going to be such a great show. We've had such great feedback already because we announced it, a couple days ago. And it is just, we have been flooded with the comments of people from out of state even saying, we've got to come to this show. And, they were in Charlotte recently for a ticketed show. This is a free show. So we will still be offering this show free to the community, thanks to all of our amazing sponsors like Habit Burger and State Farm, Piedmont Health, Allen State Realty. We can offer these free shows. And the thing that makes it even more special on August 2nd is that we are teaming up with the Mooresville Downtown Commission for their Festival of the Food Trucks. So Festival of the Food Trucks typically happens the first Saturday. So we've partnered with them to do a Rock the Park Festival of a Food Truck mashup event. So you can still enjoy all of the great food trucks and activities for Festival of the Food Trucks on Main Street and then have Rock the Park. So we're really taking over downtown Saturday, August 2nd.
38 Special, a platinum recording artist. You did give the classic rock hint as well. Great show that is free for the public. Again, Saturday, August 2nd. The other shows within the Rock the Park lineup are on Friday nights, but this one in particular, you planning for the Saturday, coupling with the Festival of Food Trucks. Now, it is a social district right down there in the Mooresville downtown kind of area. Is that right, Christine, if I say that?
Yes. We do have a social district in the downtown area. We also bring in a couple breweries, so plenty to drink and, walk around, enjoy all the activities. It's a pretty cool area in the downtown.
And the lawns open at 4:30. Concert starts at 7. So 38 Special. Start making your plans now. That's Saturday, August 2nd. as part of Rock the Park Summer Concert Series for the town of Mooresville. It's going down at Liberty Park, a great park, one of the wonderful parks within the community. There is another show after 38 Special, and I don't want to take away from it because everyone will be vibing.
Yes.
Friday, September 5th will be the last of the Rock the Park Summer Concert Series. You got some Jimmy Buffett going on.
That's right. Summertime and Jimmy Buffett go together. We're excited about that show because it's probably one of the most requested shows that we get is Jimmy Buffett and like Elvis. We always get those. And anytime we get to bring a Jimmy Buffett tribute, it's great. And we've had A1 before, which is one of the top Jimmy Buffett tribute bands. This band as well is one of the top tribute bands. We really try to bring the good quality tributes where you're going to get that experience. You're going to feel like you're at a Jimmy Buffett show as much as possible. So I think everyone's going to love that.
Not only did Christine Patterson help bring in 38 Special, which for a lot of people is going to bring back a lot of great memories, a lot of nostalgia, and a classic rock platinum recording artist coming through Mooresville. But they're not the only ones because in October for the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame ceremony that's going to be going down in Mooresville, you've got Luke Combs coming to Mooresville.
Yeah, we do. So the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony will take place in Mooresville for the third year in a row. We are just so grateful to be able to partner with that amazing organization. It will be back at the Mooresville Performing Arts Center this year. Last year it switched to the Charles Mack Citizen Center, but we're back at the PAC this year because we are gonna. It's already sold out for to see this amazing show, which will end with basically a Luke Combs concert. And you get to watch him be inducted and hear about his story and listen to him speak. And it's just a really one-of-a-kind, unique experience. And I heard that WSIC might have some of the last tickets available.
That's word on the street, but you gotta be listening for the cue to call is what I hear, which happens during the morning show, and then you call and you get your name on the list, and then the prize will get spun on Fridays for a couple weeks in a row is how that one goes down, Christine. So a little different. But for you in the town of Mooresville, I mean, what an awesome variety of events. The summertime, parents are wanting to get out of the house maybe a little bit. And with the kids, how are the summer camps going for the town of Mooresville? Because maybe people missed out on this year, but we don't want them sleeping on it for even next year and starting to think ahead on that.
Yeah, so summer camps, we actually are trying to add even more summer camps for next year. We've got funding to really beef that up because our summer camps sell out so fast. One of the things specifically related to Rock the Park that we're even able to do is, I don't know if people know this, but I definitely need to talk about it more. So if you want a date night and come to one of the Rock the Park shows at the War Memorial Recreation Facility, which is literally right behind Liberty Park, we have a children's playtime drop off. You can drop your kids off at War Memorial. They can enjoy activities, and it's the same hours as the Liberty Park concert series.
Oh wow,
that is so cool! Yeah, you get a little date night, little free childcare. That's amazing,
right? Yeah, I know. I can't believe I didn't tell you guys about this. There's so much.
I'm going to drop my husband off there, too. He can just hang out, and I'll go have a fun night by myself.
I'm sure they take husbands.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
I'll find out.
All right, Christian, we've also been asking you about different parks, right? Because there's so many around Mooresville. Again, Rock the Park going down at Liberty Park, a great park there in the downtown Mooresville area, a variety of features for folks to enjoy. Give us another one around the town of Mooresville. Maybe that people, again, during the summertime, maybe they're not in summer camp and they're just hanging out and wanting to find an activity to do. What's a good park someone can check out within the town of Mooresville?
Yeah, so I don't think I've done Willow Valley yet. So Willow Valley Park is kind of right off the downtown area. It's in the Eastern Heights community. I want to highlight that park because they are actually getting ready to renovate that park. It hosts a lot of events, community-style events are hosted in Willow Valley Park. They do a Juneteenth event. There's a National Night Out event, which is coming up in August. So lots of great just community, cookout style. Well, we're renovating that park. We're actually putting in kitchen grill equipment. So to make those family, barbecues and cookouts just a little bit easier. There's going to be some, hookup access over there. and some other renovations. So it should be done by June of next year. That they'll probably start in about October, but that park is definitely one to check out.
Christine Patterson, the Director of Experience and Engagement for the town of Mooresville. She's also the host of I Heart Mooresville. Check out yesterday's episode, The Chain, Fleetwood Mac Tribute Show. They're playing this Friday, Rock the Park Summer Concert Series. Thanks, Christine.
Thanks.
Well, it's July, and we would expect it to be hot and sticky humid, wouldn't we? We're continuing that. Temperatures climb into the low 90s as we go into our Wednesday afternoon around the lake, and as scattered thunderstorms return as well, likely anything that pops up being a slow mover, so be ready. It could rain really heavy for a while, and there could be some flash flooding concerns in a few spots. Overnight, those storms will come to an end, low 70s. Back up around 90 with scattered thunderstorms Thursday afternoon. That's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Thursday, July 10th, the Langtree Live Outdoor Concert Series returns. Groove Skeletons make their Langtree debut. In 2024, they finished second in the Battle of the Bands and now bring their indie rock and fun stage presence to Exit 31 off I-77. Groove Skeletons play at 7 p.m. on Thursday in Mooresville at Langtree Live. Friday night at Brookdale Village in Huntersville is Live Under the Oaks. The Village stage welcomes the music of Joseph Gallo. Gallo is a pop and rock artist whose performance will get you to sing and dance along. Grab your lawn chairs and your blankets for the free show on the plaza. Brookdale restaurants will be open for dinner, and Red Rocks will be on site at the stage for beverages. We'll see you Friday night at 6 p.m. for the Joseph Gallo Show at Brookdale Village in Huntersville. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday with a performance by Caleb Davis. Davis is a graduate of the Berklee College of Music and plays his original songs and covers many genres from the 40s to today. Don't miss this 6 p.m. show. Visit the 500 Club online for more information on entertainment, food, beverages, and tea times. Bin 110 in Cornelius has live music Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Pluto for Planet Duo plays on Thursday, July 10th. John Sullivan on Friday, and Hey Ladies on Saturday. Bin 110 offers a large selection of whiskeys, wines, cocktails, and small plates. Drinks, eats, and live music are yours at Bin 110 this weekend. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is at Charlotte Motor Speedway for round number 8 on Tuesday, July 15th, when Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts get in free. Click on charlottemotorspeedway.com for more information on the Summer Shootout and other 2025 events. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
They're back. More of Justin, Bill, and Mamie now. It's Good Morning LKN from WSIC. Local starts here.
Good morning, LKN. 8:48. Happy Wednesday to you. You know, one of the voices that you hear after us is Patrick Reynolds. He's the host of the Home Ad Show Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. Whether you're buying, selling, or celebrating birthdays and anniversaries, you hang out with Patrick Reynolds. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. That's the number to call if you want to really get to any of the hosts here at WSIC across the entire lineup, you know, all 35 hours every single week. We make it easy for you. We put it in one place, the WSIC News app. It's available on iOS and Google Play. You can listen to any live show. You can also watch the video live stream of all of our local content, because we do video live stream everything we do. And we also make it available on demand for you from all of our hosts. We enjoy the wide variety that come through our studios each and every week, and we want to make that available to you at any point in time. And you also can check out all the local businesses we get an opportunity to hang out with, because there's quite a few, and there's more coming to the Lake Norman area, and we welcome every single one of them. And we like hanging out and sharing their stories as well. We get an opportunity to do that. And did I miss anything?
Point of order. With the WSIC News app.
Okay.
On the video streams, when you watch things on demand, no missing minutes from any show.
Oh, no. We keep all the minutes in there.
All the minutes are there
all
from
the
all the
minutes
show.
are there.
You miss a show, you want to catch it on demand from the video. WSIC has all of the minutes. No missing minutes.
There you go. It's all available for you in one nice place. You would think, you know, that technology is pretty much there. Like, video's been around a long time. Even closed captioning video systems, like within prisons, they've been around.
It's been a while.
For a while. And you would think that the federal government in general, with, you know, high priority situations, would have all of their video stuff kind of lined up. Part of the release with the Epstein, or the decision of the Epstein trial, not even really a trial, right? Obviously.
No, there was no trial.
For him in particular,
Right.
there was that the case is done. We're done with it, and we're releasing the footage to prove that he didn't kill himself, or that nobody went into his cell, or excuse me, that he did kill himself, that nobody went into the cell. 18 hours worth of video, or whatever the number was. And the internet found there was 1
minute missing.
1 minute missing. Well, of course, during the cabinet meeting yesterday at the White House, which President Trump called a cabinet meeting, so he brings in all the secretaries and all the peoples, and that would include Attorney General Pam Bondi, who was in the room. And of course, like, you would know she was going to be asked this question about this. I would imagine their internal social people are monitoring the internet and what people are talking about. But here was Attorney General Pam Bondi's response when asked about the missing minute within the videos released related to Epstein.
And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And the minute missing from the video.
I don't know exactly what that answer meant there, that they know the minute's missing. They're going to talk to the prison about the minute missing. And it's been doing it
They've been doing it since the 90s, 80s, 90s, yeah, since video was invented.
So really, all of the assassin squads can go in at the same minute. Everyone's on the same page.
Right.
You know the exact moment you're supposed to go in.
That's why they've been doing it since the 80s. They're like, here's your minute.
Here's your cue.
Now the public all knows what that 1 minute window has been. That was just on the memo internally.
Right.
And now
Like, well, it's always been that way. I don't know why I had to explain it to you people, but I guess we do. Sorry.
If
It's been the minute for the assassins this whole time.
Yeah. That was a non-answer, right? By the way, I don't think she actually.
That was
gave...
a way to circle all the way around that answer.
She spoke a lot, but said nothing.
Little, yeah.
It is so awkward because like all the other secretaries, like, no, it's one. Like, they're not dumb, right? These people are not dumb. They know more than we know. Let's be honest. Like they have access to more information about this scenario than we do. And they all just kind of like look away and let her just get eaten alive.
I feel like they're still running the press like they did 5-10 years pre-COVID. We'll just say pre-COVID. So 10, 5, 10, whatever. When there's so much more information out now, and there's so many more people that dig deep too. There's people that got lots of time on their hands. And
they learned how to do that.
Right. And so, where maybe in early 2000s, you could say, oh yeah, this, that, and the other, and people would just believe it. Now there's so much more access and so many ways for people to dig up, answers. So it's just hard to accept now. They're going to find a new way to spin things.
Talk.
But like we said earlier, government would never say anything to hurt the American people or lie or deceive us, right?
No,
right.
They love all of us. Hey, Florida's got a new eliminating a sales tax that they had. Excuse me. Florida's eliminating sales tax related to, I believe, selling of precious metals. And so the sales tax on if you were to sell gold, there was a threshold, I think, of a $500 like exemption limit, but now there's no limit.
There's no tax on gold.
So if you like sell physical gold, then you don't have to pay a sales tax in the state of Florida.
About fool's gold.
Yeah, I mean, that's if someone's willing to buy it as gold. Then...
Do I have to? Okay, I don't have to pay sales tax.
I think it falls within. At least I'm not sure. Maybe it actually doesn't. But it could be
That's
one
the only gold
not
I got.
precious metal. Like it's not considered precious metal. So
it is if you think it's precious.
Yeah.
Carolina prospectors might open up a Florida branch
there you
now.
Go.
Hey, Bill.
And
Sunshine
so
State.
This is effective August 1st, 2025. So this House Bill 7031 down in Florida removes sales tax on all precious metals transactions, reversing a previous $500 exemption threshold. 24 karat gold, I guess use in every day kind of happens down there. I don't think it's just Florida. I think in general there's a lot of 24 karat gold. But that people are going to want to be selling the physical gold. So that's interesting. Global gold prices hit a record $24.50 per ounce in July. They said,
Yes.
But you have Bill Brewer on from Carolina Prospectors on the Home Ad Show. What's that like hearing about the gold and the silver and all that stuff kind of each week on the show? And the Home Ad audience is more in tune than we are as far as what's going on globally there.
Yeah, I hear it frequently. Bill Brewer definitely got his finger on the pulse of metals and the pricing, how it rises and falls with the market. And what's something that he actually taught me is that the American dollar actually, as a habit, goes opposite of gold and silver. Prices of gold and silver rise, American dollar tends to weaken. American dollar strengthens, prices of gold and silver tend to drop. Now, it's a tendency. It's not verbatim, but it's fascinating to watch. And when he gives the prices, he gives me a big drop sometimes. Sometimes it's kind of steady. But I ask him about the American dollar with that, and he just about always backs it up. When they're all strengthening, that's kind of rare. It does happen. He talks about it sometimes, but it's kind of interesting to watch. I've learned a lot, actually, about the markets and metals and why and when people sell, buy, when to invest, and things like that. He is a very wise man when it comes to gold and silver pricing.
And doesn't Bill give WSIC listeners a discount or a bonus or something like what is that? Yeah. How does that work?
Yeah, people can trade in, I wouldn't say just sell their gold and silver scrap jewelry. I say, lying around the house, you got some old jewelry. I could use some cash for this. You go into Carolina Prospectors, you present it to them. They'll look it over, give you an appraisal on that. Each day that Bill calls in, he gives the show a 3-digit code, gives the Home Ad Show audience a 3-digit code. You bring your metals in, they give the appraisal, and then you say, hang on, there's today's code, and you can repeat it back to them. The appraisal bumps up 10% from what they just gave you.
Oh, wow. They'll give you like an extra 10%.
Extra 10% on the appraisal. Whatever they appraised you for,
wow.
It goes up 10% when you say that code today, just because, hey, he loves the Home Ad Show and WSIC and vice versa, and the listeners come into the store. So he just bonuses people for listening to Home Ad.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Check
very
out
cool.
Carolina Prospectors.
Walk out of Carolina Prospectors with more money than you walked into Carolina Prospectors. He says, Bill Brewer tells me, you got to send the people on their way smiling and having a good time.
There you go.
So he does
Absolutely.
that.
You been a big jewelry gal?
I'm not a big jewelry gal, no, but my mother was. So I am. Most everything I wear was hers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everything except for these 2 rings that I have on. Rob got me everything else. Rob got me some diamond earrings too recently. But yeah, everything else is hers. Yeah.
So you're wearing earrings and necklace, I see right now. Were those your mom's?
These are my mom's. Yeah, both of these are my mom's. Yeah. So my dad kept her. My dad was not the best gift giver, but he knew that jewelry was always a good bet. And so when he couldn't decide, it was just gold or silver is what she got. So,
I just got a little tug of my heartstrings. Knowing that about me.
A little inside knowledge there. So a lot of things interesting happening in the financial markets for sure. No doubt about that. Racing's getting a change up. This broke overnight, I believe. I think this is going to affect more of F1 than it would NASCAR. Because Red Bull's not in NASCAR. Are they in NASCAR at all?
No, I used to work for them, but no, they came, they saw, they raced, they left.
Okay.
Yeah, this is their Formula One team. Just the Formula One team.
Christian Horner, does that name Horner? Does that make name ring a bell?
Oh yeah. He was the team principal for Formula One. In other words, he led Max Verstappen in all those wins, all those world championships.
Okay, you use the metric term there too, because the principal thing.
Yes, that's
so
what
is that the CEO?
Pretty much, yeah. He's in American terms, he's running the whole show.
It's a European thing. That's
Gotcha.
So
team principal, like captain.
He's married. He's married to Ginger Spice.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought that was Tom Brady.
No.
Tom Brady's not married to any of the Spice Girls.
No. Who's married to Posh? Oh, no, David Beckham.
David Beckham.
Is married to
footballer,
Posh.
yeah.
Yeah.
To Posh Spice.
To Posh Spice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Christian
right.
Horner's won a lot of races, a lot of Formula One world championships. I woke up this morning and he is no longer with the team. Immediately gone.
Just big news.
Big news.
That's
big
big
F1
news?
news.
He's been there for a long time, though,
about
right?
20 years, yeah.
That's serious. And they've already named, I believe, his replacement, Laurent McCase. I'm not sure. Again, I don't know. I'm not on the metric system that much, but I figured you would know given racing.
Actually, I don't know his replacement. I had not read or heard a replacement for him yet, so you're ahead of me on that news. But yeah, I found that interesting waking up too. And that was kind of my racing timeline. Yeah, that was big.
So, and Red Bull being big in the F1 series, again, not in NASCAR Cup Series. Is it just because it wasn't as sporty enough for them? What do you think it was? Like why they aren't interested in NASCAR at all? Or is it that they just go for F1? That's it.
They tried NASCAR. They didn't like it, from what I gathered. I actually worked on the Red Bull team when it was here in the United States.
And you were like, get out of NASCAR now.
Leave immediately.
I'll confess. I had to get out of Red Bull now.
Breaking news. Patrick is
was
the
influencing the influencers. That's what we do every day.
No, it wasn't their cup of tea.
Hey, sorry.
No, what?
Have a great day.
Okay.
Serving you better than ever before. 105.9 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North.